Have you been told that you're supposed to use a walking foot to do your quilting? And you're wondering, what is this weird looking thing and why would I use it? Well, I'm here to tell you exactly what it does, why you should use it. We're going to start by talking about what the two purposes of a presser foot on a sewing machine are. So let's start by looking at what happens when we don't have a presser foot. First of all, I'm going to put my fabric in here and I'm going to put my needle down, and then it comes up and the fabric comes up with the needle. So the very first purpose of the presser foot is to hold the fabric down so that the needle can come out and move on to the next stitch. The second purpose of a presser foot has to do with these things here called feed dogs. These little teeth stick up, and as the sewing machine takes each stitch, they move the fabric. So it's coming up here and they move back. They move the fabric back and then they go back down again. So every time the feed dogs move like that, the fabric is moved so that another stitch can be made. Remember, the needle is staying in one place and the fabric is moving along one stitch at a time, and that's how you get your seam. If I were to just put my fabric there over the feed dogs and then run the machine, really bad things happen. But most importantly, the fabric wouldn't actually really get caught and moved along, just if it was just sitting on top of those feed dogs. When I put the presser foot on and put it down, it's holding the fabric against the feed dogs so that every time those feed dogs go up and around and back, it moves the fabric one more stitch ahead. So that's what the presser foot's there for, and that's what it's doing. But why do you need to use a walking foot, presser foot in particular for when you're doing quilting? When you're using a regular presser foot, it just slides. The feed dogs move the fabric through, and the presser foot just slides across the top of the fabric. And this works just fine with regular cotton fabric, easy to use fabric, because the layers don't shift and slide between each other as the presser foot slides across the top. In quilting, there are lots of layers of fabric and it's pretty thick. So the presser foot is pressing down a little harder because it's thicker, and then as it's sliding across the fabric, you can see ripples and tucks are going to get caught up. And that's one reason you can get those ripples and tucks on the top of your quilt or even on the back of your quilt. So what's so different about that walking foot? First, let's talk about what's different when we install the walking foot, because this is the major difference about a walking foot, is this bar here, right here. This moves up and down, and it gets put over this on the needle bar. When this goes up and down, the needle is going up and down as well. So the walking foot is actually going to be attached and moving with the needle. So you can see here, now that this is installed, this is the little fork that's over this needle bar. And then when the needle goes up and down, that part moves in the walking foot as well. So why do we have it attached to the needle bar? It's because the walking foot will move up and down or walk as the needle goes up and down. So this means when we're quilting and it's moving along the path there, it goes up and down instead of pushing the fabric along, it's walking along the top, and that keeps the ripples and tucks from forming. So that's why you want to use a walking foot when you're making your quilt. It's also a very good foot to use when you have slippery fabrics or many thin layers of fabrics, but I'm a quilter, I don't care about that so much, but it's awesome for quilting. You can do a lot of great quilting with a walking foot. When you buy your walking foot, you're going to want to make sure that it's the one that's made for your machine, because again, it's attaching to that needle bar on your machine, so you want to make sure you have a walking foot that's designed for your machine. If you're going looking for the walking foot for your machine, I do have a blog post linked below, and in that blog post I have a whole list of all the major manufacturers and links to the walking feet for each manufacturer. So you can go check that out. If you're interested in what the other presser feet might be that you might need to do quilting, I have another video linked above. I hope all this helped.